You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
I feel like to live is to be ambitious. Those who maintain a desire to be and to be present and to do more and to keep striving for more, I feel have usually longer lines of longevity of life. When we stop pursuing or desiring or moving forward, I think some of us start to experience some minimization of life experiences, and stuff just starts passing us by. We're not participating as actively as we once was. And that can make it challenging for things that you desire or want to experience to come forth. And at times we can also be the distraction that is occurring within our own circumstances. And if we are to follow our hearts and do the things that we desire, we have to go after them. We have to have a passionate stance, almost this fearlessness of existence that propels us to keep going and moving forward. When you actually lock in on things that are important to you in your life, you find yourself more focused. You find yourself more lifted. I think that there's something as a purpose-driven life that comes into effect. But we also have to understand that we're also capable of being our own distractions. And we can always find things or people or suggestively say that, hey, this happened and this caused me to get knocked off, or I didn't stay doing this because something else pulled my attention, or, you know, somebody took this opportunity so it didn't work out for me. But in reality, we're our own distractions. And I can challenge you to say this. Has there ever been something that you have been so severely, significantly desiring, and you just stay focused and locked in on it, and then every day or every opportunity you put something towards it, whether it was your attention or some type of physical aspect to it? You may have financially supported it to help it come along. Well, that's because you were locked in and you didn't allow any of the things around you to block the direction that you wanted to take. So we also have to recognize that at times when things aren't moving the way we're desiring, and we're not getting to that momentum, and there's different things that's going on, sometimes we're our own distractions. And so in order for us to overcome sometimes the things that are challenging us, or things around us are not, syncing up, or doesn't feel positive, or, you may not have the surrounding that you want to have to get where you want to be, then you have to make a decision. So guys, y'all know what time it is. It's Monday and it's time for Sonny's Monday Motivation. Welcome to Loudmouth Radio Network. My name is Sonny. As a former professional athlete turned entrepreneur realtor and the producer of Loudmouth Radio Network, I look forward to bringing content to you that empowers, inspires, and entertains you. Tune in each week as we have unscripted and unfiltered talks from entrepreneurship, real estate, politics, entertainment, comedy, LGBTQ topics, day-to-day life, and everything in between. All shows available on demand 24/7 on your favorite podcast platforms.
Here at Wonderland Learning Center, we're located at 288 East Main Street in San Jacinto. We provide a safe and secure learning environment. We are now enrolling 2 to 5-year-olds with our preschool curriculum. We offer before and after school care. Breakfast, lunch, and snacks are provided. We accept all programs. We are open Monday through Friday from 6 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. Our website is wonderlandlearningcenter.com.
Portals Entertainment Center is a new 13,000 square foot entertainment experience now open in Temecula. Portals creates a space where your imagination can be set free. Step into an immersive entertainment center that will take visitors into one of our many attractions, which include 2 9-hole indoor mini golf courses, an immersive laser tag arena, a designated arcade space, a food service component, party and event spaces, and a hidden 21 and over lounge. Portals aims to give each visitor a unique experience, taking them to unknown worlds and experiencing an entertainment center like no other. Open 7 days a week, located at 26469 Inez Road in Temecula, California, in between At Home and Temecula Theaters. Come check us out and step into adventure.
Yo, what's good, y'all? It's Sonny, the Loudmouth of Comedy. Sonny's Loudmouth Comedy Presents is coming back November 15th, 2024. And guys, guess what? This is our first Friday show that we're doing at Shooter's Bar and Grill right at 28950 Old Town Front Street. If you have never been to Shooter's Bar and Grill, I suggest you come out, man. We're going to have just an amazing, fantastic, crazy time. Our comedy and karaoke showcase is doors open at 7. Show starts at 8, and the open mic showcase is going to be ridiculous this year. I don't even know if you understand what's about to go down. I said this year because we're almost at the end of the year, guys. Time done dropped back yesterday, and we're getting ready to hit the holiday season, so it's time to turn up. And we're going to be celebrating 13 years of existence for Loudmouth Comedy. God has been awesome. My featured comics, man, Alvin McCray coming out of Los Angeles from New York. Mike Diamond, the Inland Empire's own, right? This cat is going to come. Look, you know what? I got 2 New Yorkers. He's from Brooklyn, right? I just got to tell you guys, they're not going to play no games, all right? And you know my host, the Marina Comedy, Kevin Davis. But you know what's even better and what's doper? I'm bringing back some of the comics of the last 3 shows that you guys may have or may not have seen. So I just got to tell you, my lineup that night is going to be super powerful, man. Miss Rika, Austin Levins, Brett As Is, Willis Turner, Drew Edwards, Nick Flair. Guys, it ain't going to even slow down. Thomas Mays, Walter Ford. Bruh, I don't even understand if you understand what's about to go down. So I'm going to suggest you get your tickets. It's $25 in advance, $35 at the door. We got reserved tables and seating. And when I tell you, Shooters does an amazing job. They have such a very vast menu. The food, the drinks, everything is lit. And I want you to come for the comedy, stay for the karaoke, because we're going to have the after party karaoke, especially a Friday night. We ain't got to rush out to go to work the next day. We were doing our Wednesday shows, and this time we're on a Friday night. I need you guys in attendance. And when I tell you they're going to power pack this show, they're going to come on this stage ready to burn it down. And I need you guys to support these crew. When I tell you my comics are going to be lit, I just hope that you know to bring a friend. Loudmouth Comedy. Get your tickets. LOUDDMOUTH comedy.com. Can I tell y'all, I think I'm at a point where each day becomes this manifesto. And I give this psychological aspect of thought that today is the day for whatever it is. If I want to have a good day, today is the day. If I want to have opportunities, today is the day. If I want to have laughter, if I want to have joy, today is the day. I can tell you, life will be so much easier if we focus more on the things that give us light versus the things that create weight. And unfortunately, we have the ability, the freedom of choice to forecastively act according to how we think. So because of that, we have to be consciously aware of what we're channeling in our minds and how we're focused on things and how we're speaking on things and how we're drawing certain things to us, because we're responsible for our own happiness. I think a lot of us have had experiences with other people, and sometimes other people may give a aspect of division of what you may feel in regards to certain things. Because, you know, we're not all here to agree with about everything. It's not really possible. And not that I would want that. I don't think that I would want to have somebody that's just a yes person all the time around me. That's not growth. But I do feel like there is a responsibility to ourselves to encompass ourselves with things that are important to us, right? the people that we choose to have around us, the things that we desire to participate in, the causes or the people that we support. It all has to align with things that are complementary to how you feel you participate in society. So even in that, we have to also recognize our own presence and how we conduct ourselves within our own presence. You'll be surprised how many people are doing life and not really paying attention to how they're living within their own life. And you got some of those people that you've known for years, and you'll see them, maybe as a kid, you grow up and maybe you guys separate and go different directions. You run into them again 10 years later, and they're kind of in the same space. And then you may not see them again for another 15, 20 years. And then when you see them again, they're still in the same space. Guys, I tell you, we can be our own distractions. We can create our own obstacles. We can create our own setbacks. We can create our own successes. And so in order for us to find our way into the level of destiny we desire for ourselves, we also have to see the things within us or around us that could be holding us back. Most times, even if there's other people and other energies that are participating, because, there's a very good possibility you're going to come across people that don't like you for whatever the reason. They may not know you, but they may not necessarily feel your vibe. And because of that, they're looking from their own perspective and making their own judgment based upon whatever it is they're deciding upon. So for you, where's your responsibility of how you move? Where's your responsibility of how you grow? And in order to grow, you have to look at both sides of the equation, your good stuff and your not so good stuff. Where am I weak at? What are the things that are maybe compromising to me that is not allowing me to see or be to my greater? And I'm saying this not in a chastising way, but I'm saying this in a real way that all of us have this human ability to do well and to jack up, right? And at any given time, our decisions, our conversations, our mindsets, it generates into formulas that are showing up in our life experience. So if we're going to continue to walk in this pathway of improvement and bettering our lives, our lives patterns of things that we're experiencing, we also have to see the things that are maybe overshadowing us. Maybe there's something that we didn't develop well enough in the early onset of our years. Maybe we did not learn not to gossip. Maybe we didn't learn not to make hasty decisions. Maybe we did not learn to not trust each and everything that somebody tells you. Maybe we need to know that we're not trusting of ourselves. So guys, when I tell you it's so compartmented, and I think one of the wonderful things is that I try to give on these shows each week is some parts of something, because you can't dump everything about yourself or a person or circumstances and expect somebody to just pull off all of the layers in one sitting. It's not possible. We're accumulating experiences every day. So if you multiply the days of your existence, the time that those hours have passed, it's 24 hours in a day. There's 365 days in a year, right? So as you're progressing in age, there's more time being positioned in the works that you're doing that have accumulated to what you're doing now in the physical. It is all gathered up to create this mold. And the mold that we are is how we function every day, how we show up, right? And it's not necessarily always in the public, but also how do we show up in our internal life? How are we showing up in our own room where there's nobody else around and there's nothing to give judgment to that very moment? How are we existing in that moment? How are we thinking about the things that we need to do? How are we thinking about ourselves? How are we expecting people to respond to us? So what are you giving out? Where's your light at? Is your light, dimmed? Is it dark? Is it bright? Is it jovial? Is it up and down constantly? We do not necessarily, it's not easy. We're not necessarily equipped to just turn and like a light. You can't turn it on and off. It takes some conscious effort to dissect the things that we've allowed to accumulate in our lives. Those life experiences, the decisions, the things that we partake in, the actions that we have given to one another, the treatment of one another, we don't realize how much that assumption, that consumption of, not assumption, but the consumption of the things that we're involved in, they ball up and they form into our cells, our bodies, right into our human cells. So if all of that is coming, like all of these things around you are either coming into your spirit or coming into your cell body, or what are we putting out? Right? Because guys, we're all energy. We're all of our magnetic energies that are feeding off one another. And so I know for me, I have become more conscientious, for the last 15, 20 years of how things in life appear. You know, when you were under your parents' care, you didn't have to make certain decisions. For me, like I went off to college and, living independently and attending higher education and coming into new communities of people, living with other people that you may not know, especially with like my experience. I lived in dorms. So you learn how to navigate life, and you learn how to adjust according to the people and places and things that are going on around you. And so because of that, it enriches parts of your life. It gives essence to things, and it gives haven to your experiences of how you conduct yourself amongst others. But we also are accumulating the interaction between one another. So if somebody is treating you in a shitty way, and it could be at a job, you maybe have somebody, an employer or an employee relationship, where they may be jealous of how you do things. They may not be able to achieve the same things that happens for you naturally, right? Or there's some things you might have to work up or work at too that they're better at and you don't have naturally. So there's these different things that are happening. So you ever had those instances where you may have had somebody you work with and they're not friendly, they're giving you a hard time, or they make your job harder, or they always have an attitude, or their energy is always dark or heavy around. You know how those moments feel, right? So imagine if we are carrying that type of energy of ourselves within our own experiences of family, home life, social scenes, professional and business type of interactions. We have to be very, very, very conscious of how we're conducting ourselves. There's been so many times that, and I see people now saying it more than often than less now. Oh, I'm gonna get the energy that's coming at me. And when those make those kind of decisions, we're actually opening ourselves up to damage. It's not so much to whomever is outside, but to ourselves, because if somebody did something or said something to you that didn't feel good and it wasn't nice, why would you want to project it back? Because it's going to take just as much energy for you to project it back. Now, you didn't like the way it came at you, so you don't necessarily want to give it back the same way, right? Now, I'm not saying that you just ignore things to the degree of where you act like it never happened. But I do think that we can become better servants to life by recognizing our own shortcomings. And when we can recognize our own shortcomings, sometimes people's behavior, the things they say, the things they do, it don't affect you the same, because you really recognize that sometimes this is not about you, it's about their own experience. So if somebody is giving you that level of energy and they're acting that way, do you look at yourself to see how you're also acting out in regards to people? How you're showing up, how you're leaving them to feel, how you're talking to them. I've had to take my own level of internal inventory of action, of energy, of behavior, of mindset, of allowances. How am I treating myself? Right? It's so funny. This past weekend, I got a chance to celebrate kind of a new friendship in an intimate space within their space, within their home. And, it's moments like those that you get to peel away things and you learn about people, and vice versa. They learn about you. And so we had some commonalities. We played basketball, we played some professional level basketball, and because we've only known each other for a shorter period of time, they really had no knowledge of that about me, and I had no knowledge about that about them. But the cool part about it is, as we dove into our conversations, we were able to connect in regards to experiences and different things and elements about ourselves, about the game, the love of it. You could hear the batter that existed between us as we talked about basketball and our time period of when we were playing and the approach to the game and our navigation of life in the midst of pursuing professional sports. And so it's amazing when you can find out about things about other people, and then it makes you also think reflectively about yourself. In some way, I don't know if you guys had that experience, but I know I've had those level experiences, and sometimes people's things that they've done makes you think, wow, this is cool. What you want to know more about them, and then it opens up another window of aspect, and then you start to understand a little bit more about how they may present themselves now or how they move. All right. The cool thing is that as functioning people in a society in which we are now, we have to be the light that we desire to really come back to us. Like, I cannot say that enough, because once we acknowledge our own existence, our own patterns, our own attitudes, the things of how we present things, I think other things come at you in a better light. I think that more opportunities start to present themselves. I think it connects people in your path that you may not have had any acknowledgement of, but they come into your experience because they're going to help you on your travel of what it is that you're working towards. And it doesn't have to be something that's super substantial. It could just be, I want to get up earlier. I want to start exercising. I want to save money. I want to travel. I want to buy a business. Like, it's all of these different things that everybody has in their own experience. But once we can recognize that we could be the biggest pivot or pigeonhole of our own experience and desires and goals and dreams, I think it frees you up, right? And you can feel the momentum of you being opened up. And a lot of times how you can tell it's happening is the opportunities start presenting themselves. Certain people start showing up. Certain things start being given in reference to what you're doing to help you on your path. And so I think that there's this level of submission that has to happen. And it's so funny because I feel like I'm at that point myself right now with some things. I've had a huge tandem of energy moving the last few weeks, and my desires have been so great that sometimes that the movement of certain things haven't happened as fast as I would like. And so I kind of almost allowed myself to fall in a bit of frustration. And then I have to remember, well, wait a minute. What is it that you desire? This thing is big enough for you to desire it. You don't think it's going to have some instances that it may be some challenges to see it, but the spirit of desire, of positive desire, is so much greater that I can't allow myself to sit in the frustration. The frustration is only there because I desire it so much. And because I desire it so much, I'm giving a lot of energy and emotion and thought and manifesting the outcome of it, right? But not allowing myself to get caught in how it's going to come about. But I am making sure that I'm taking inventory to make sure that I'm not my own distraction, that I'm not allowing my force fields to be so hell bent in one direction that I'm not open to allow opportunities to come that will maybe give me another capacity of reaching the end goal. Right. So, guys, when I tell you, I just want to give these conduits, these little tasters of life experiences, because life is not as easy as simple as people want to objectify it. I think that sometimes social media gives us these false thoughts of how something could be given, or how you can achieve certain things. No, best believe that between here and there's a lot in between that has to happen. There's a lot in between that gives you the opportunity to spring ahead. I'm not saying that it takes a certain amount of time. I'm not saying that it has to be all hardship. I'm not saying that it has to look a certain way. But we also have to be conscientious and conscious of how we're participating in our own evolution. And so I just wanted to give that aspect of thought and say that we can excel and we can exceed more by recognizing our own levels of distraction, and that sometimes it could just be our attitudes that can prevent or slow down the process of what we're looking to do. And the more that you're aware of it, I feel like it helps your best self to come to the surface and achieve whatever it is that you desire. So I'm going to bid you guys farewell, and I hope that you guys have an incredible week this week. And we're now headed right into the holidays, so that I do wish you the utmost of opportunity of good energy toward whatever it is that you're locking in on, and that you can finish your year strong. And, start setting in place and position for the things right now. This is that month of supposed to be, I would say, maybe thankfulness and gratitude. So, locking in the gratitude and thankfulness for where you are right now and where you're going, I think also helps to give more positive construction to your build, right? To what you're building up to. So, all right, y'all know what we got to do. Just continue to be our best selves. And I look forward to talking to you all soon. Later.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Takasha Smith. I'm the owner of Takasha's Kitchen, based out of Menifee in the Southern California area. As a chef and caterer, I provide private cooking classes, couples dinners, and private parties. As a female pitmaster, I am able to create a personalized experience for your family reunion gatherings. I create menus based on my clients' needs to have a more personal vibe. You can find Takasha's Kitchen on all social media networks such as Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and my YouTube channel at Takasha's Kitchen. And that's spelled TACASHAS Kitchen, KITCHEN.
You're listening to the Loudmouth Radio Network.